Good evening, everyone. It is fantastic having you all here with us today. Congratulations to Law Ambassadors. This is a huge event for the program. It's the biggest one really for the year. So amazing having you all here and seeing all your faces. A big well done. By way of introduction, my name is Amy Scarlett and I'm the Senior Student Engagement and Employability Coordinator within the Faculty of Law. And I wanted to say thank you for all those that are watching tonight's event via YouTube. You are watching it live. There's none of this pre-recorded anything. So you see everything as it happens. So it's great to have you here. I am going to share my screen really quickly. Before we get started though, I did want to make an acknowledgement. Attendees today come from many different places, many from unceded First Nations land across Australia and internationally. At Monash Melbourne campuses, we acknowledge the people of the Kulin Nation on whose land we gather when we are together physically. Today, I pay my respects to the Kulin Nation's elders past and present. And that's enough for me for now. We will get started shortly, but before we do, it is our great honour to have our Dean of the Faculty of Law, Professor Brian Horrigan. I would like to hand it over to you now, Professor.
Thank you very much, Amy, and welcome everyone to our student members of the project teams for this showcase, but also as we are being live streamed to family members and friends, loved ones, fellow student peers and others who might be interested. Maybe they're at school, maybe they are other supporters or potential students or partners or peers. Welcome to seeing this fantastic showcase. It's a great privilege for me to join you, not only as the Dean of this magnificent law school in its 57th year, but also having had a chance to look at the booklet, to join you in seeing the fruition of these magnificently creative projects. I recall that my limited creativity was confined to thinking up the name for a touch football team when I was at law school. And I see some creativity going into the humorous names and labels for the programs tonight, and much more creativity also going into the programs themselves. When my law team at law school had to enter a touch football competition, the big science fiction program at the time was Battlestar Galactica, the one in the 80s, not the one that came out in the noughties. And so I suggested that we would call ourselves Barrister Galactica. So that was about as successful, and we were about as successful as a team as your reactions show me. So I know my place and what I'm good at and what I'm not good at, and I couldn't possibly do the kind of creativity that I see in these projects. I've had a chance to look through them all, at least in the booklet. So I'm looking forward to joining you all in this program. This is the 2020 Monash Law Ambassador Program Showcase. And I just wanted to set the scene for what we're about to hear and what the judges will assess by just giving you context for this program and its significance. This is one of the flagship programs for Monash Law. And it's something that helps our student ambassadors not only develop experiences, skills, confidence, to be able to engage outside. In other words, to do the sorts of things that start to develop them as professionals, but also to give them experiences and transferable skills that help when it comes to getting jobs, and not only jobs when you leave law school, but the jobs you might get along the way, whether it's as a paralegal, as an intern, working in a law firm, or working somewhere else, ultimately with a view to what happens when you leave. In addition, the ambassadors through these projects are engaging with communities. Those communities might be virtual communities, as they are mostly this year. They may be school communities, in other words, people thinking about joining university. They may be the community that is law school peers. They may be communities beyond the law school and the university, within the profession, in industry, or looking at communities beyond. So there is that important community connection for a law school which has a one sentence mission. Our mission is to be a leading international clinical and digital law school in the Asia Pacific region, and through that to do something meaningful when it comes to access to justice, whether it's social justice, economic justice, environmental justice, public justice, criminal justice, and so on. So this program gives students the opportunity to connect with communities, to develop what's needed as a professional, however you choose to lose your law degree, as a legal professional or some other kind of professional. And it is also cementing the values of service. All professionals, lawyers and others, ultimately are successful in part by developing an ethic of service. In developing an ethic of service, you have to be outward looking. You have to be connected to communities. And what I really love about the program and its structure this year is that all of the teams, and there were 16 of them, and 15 of them we're fortunate to have joining us with tonight, all of them have had to think about a project which satisfies four things. How will this better the community? Now that's consistent with our values as a law school and the kind of law school we're trying to be. How will this secondly improve student employability? In other words, this is giving you something that helps you in transferable knowledge, skills and experiences that translates into an employment context. Thirdly, how does it enhance the student experience? The faculty prides itself on providing one of the best range of student experiences, whether it be through the practical program, the seminar program, the overseas programs, the clinical program, the engagement activities and so on, the range of subjects. The particular blend of student experiences here are something we take a lot of pride in. And that's a third element, enhancing the student experience. And then finally, given what's happening during COVID, but also given the way of the world, for students who will soon be out in careers, some of which do not yet exist, to be able to operate in the virtual environment, the online environment, and otherwise is critical. So it's great to see those four elements embedded in the design and structure of these programs. It's fantastic for me to get a taste by the program booklet of the creativity that's gone on into the development of these teams. Some of the best experiences for your academic teachers and other staff, and for me as Dean, is to see you take flight with the opportunities you're given, and when you come together in your teams to do the best of which you are capable, and you come together to be this creative. Ultimately, with the desire of becoming someone who can develop an ethic of service to the communities that need the kinds of things you have developed projects on. I'm so proud of you all, and I want to say that in front of your parents and peers and others. I'm really looking forward to what we see unfold over the next hour, and I will hand back to Amy and others so we can see the fruits of your work. Well done.
Thank you, Professor. I will start sharing my screen again. I'm just verbalizing it so everyone knows why there's a bit of a delay, if so. But thank you very much for those warm and kind words. It's really great to hear them from yourself and someone who's so, part of the faculty, and everyone really enjoys having you here today. So thank you. While we get started, so those that are watching, if you would like to have a look at the showcase booklet, it is available online. So you can either use your phone camera and scan this code and it'll take you straight to the booklet, or alternatively, you can find it on the Monash Law Ambassador website. So I'll give you one moment to do that. I'm sure that when I click next, someone's like, oh no, I've missed it. So we can't do it for everyone, unfortunately. But I would love to give a bit more background about the program and the program this year specifically. So this program has around 100 participants that participate every year. So this year we had 16 teams in total, and we have 15 presenting to you all. So that's a fantastic effort and a great number of students and teams presenting tonight. And again, I'm so proud of them all. They've done such an amazing job throughout the year, and considering the year that we've had, I'm so proud that 15 teams are presenting tonight. We had 18 ambassador mentors. So these mentors help support the ambassador groups and them individually throughout the program, and they had the ability to ask them questions. Now, these ambassador mentors had actually been part of the program in previous years. So they are students themselves, and they gained training and leadership skills and a variety of supporting guidance from a program within the Law Ambassador program. So that was a great opportunity for them. And, going forward, we'll see more of that. So it's great for the students that are part of this program this year to consider if they want to take on that leadership role next year. It is a year-long program, so the students work on these projects and be actively part of the program throughout the year, and the program has many different bows to it. So one of them include being volunteers and actually being a law ambassador. So they represent the law faculty at a variety of events, including orientation day, open day, and a lot of ad hoc ones that come up. So they are true ambassadors, and they've done such an amazing job this year. They've been highly engaged and put their hand up wherever they can to help volunteer. So thank you, ambassadors, for doing that. And as Brian mentioned, this program is aimed at enhancing student experience and building their employability skills. So we do that through a range of opportunities and ways. And one of those is through our workshops that we ran this year. So one of them was technology in the law and project management. That was ran by PwC and was really fantastic, super engaging, and a lot of positive feedback from the students. We had leadership skills that was run by our own Career Connect at Monash University. That's a division that focuses on enhancing students' employability skills and really honing in on that. And this workshop was specifically tailored to our Monash Law Ambassador program, which was another fantastic one. And we also had public speaking and presenting skills. So that was run by our ambassador mentors with content provided by The Generator, also at Monash University. That's an arm that focuses on entrepreneurial projects and students and alumni that actually working on entrepreneurial space and work themselves. So that was a fantastic workshop, and our mentors did such a wonderful job presenting that. But we also this year, we caught up every alternate year as a group, as the whole entire cohort. And the aim of that is to break down those barriers of competitiveness. It's really important for individuals within the program to put focus on themselves and how they're doing in the program, as well as within their team more broadly, and how their team is working together and building those skills around teaming and supporting one another. And they also noted areas where they could collaborate with other law ambassador teams. And we saw a lot of that, which I'm sure you'll hear about tonight in these showcase pictures, which is fantastic to see that, instead of thinking about, oh, I don't want to tell everyone my idea and, what our project is. No, I actually want to share that with the team, and I want to share with you hints and tips and how we've done this and so on and so forth, so we can learn from each other and really build together. So that's been fantastic to see everyone being so supportive and working really closely together. And again, as mentioned, the students worked on projects, which you're all going to see tonight. So there is a one-pager overview of each of that in the project booklet. And there is also going to be a pitch. Now, I would love to talk about our judges. So we've made you wait long enough, and we're really excited to have you here, and we really do appreciate your time. We have a very highly esteemed panel, and they've done such great things. So I would like to firstly introduce Karen Finch, and I am going to read because I want to make sure that I get the wording right. But Karen Finch is a non-practicing lawyer, legal techpreneur, CEO of Legally Yours, board member of the Australian Legal Tech Association, ALTA, and passionate ambassador of the New Law, Now Normal Law movement. So I'd love to say a warm welcome to Karen.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm really excited and have really high expectations from the no pressure participants tonight. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you, Karen. You always bring the laughs as well. So very much appreciated. Very much love it. Thank you. We also have Nicole Mollard. So Nikki Mollard is a barrister and lecturer with expertise in advocacy, evidence, and court procedure, a practice in health law, and a special interest in IVF and surrogacy law. She has a master's in bioethics, completed her articles at CAUSE, and is a board member of the Victorian Assisted Reproductive Treatment Authority. A very warm welcome to you, Nikki.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to the presentations tonight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, we have James Patterson, our very own at Monash Law, James is a media and communication specialist at Monash Law. He's a former TV and radio producer with the ABC and The Project, and holds a Bachelor's of Law honours from Monash University, who graduated in 2011. He co-hosts the law podcast, Just Cases. A warm welcome to you, James.
Thanks, Amy. It's great to be part of tonight.
Wonderful. So our judges have reviewed your one-pager booklet, and again, thank you so much for being with us. Really appreciate it. And they will be reviewing and assessing your pictures. So that's why they will be staying with us throughout the whole session. So what can you expect from the presentations and how is it going to run? So ambassadors, please take note that when I call up your team, you will then up in the virtual sense now, unfortunately, not the physical on a podium, but that's fine. Nonetheless, it'll be amazing. So when I call your team, you will be presenting your slides. So be aware that when you start sharing your screen, you'll then need to start making it on presentation view. But please do not share your slides until I tell you. Each team member will introduce themselves, and we would like you to verbally introduce yourself. So take yourself off of mute, say hello and introduce your name, just so that the people that are watching can see who you are. And then straight after that, please make sure you mute yourself. Your team then will have 3 minutes to present its pitch, okay? So each team will be doing its own presentation and you will have 3 minutes to do that. Now, the bell will chime with 1 minute left. So after 2 minutes, so with 1 minute left, the bell will chime and it'll be the bell. This is how it's going to sound. There we go. Hope everyone heard that. You'll be hearing more of that later on. And then we'll also hear that very same bell when your time is up. So at the 3 minute mark. There we go. And that will mean that you need to wrap up your sentence. And we're being very strict on the timing because we do have a lot of presentations to get through. So you will have 3 minutes and 3 minutes only. Thereafter, you will have 1 minute of Q&A from the judges if they have any questions. If they have any questions, they'll ask it. If they don't, then we'll move on to the next team. And again, I will advise which team is up to present and I will get you to share your screen. So obviously the team that has just presented, please turn off your sharing screen once you have completed your presentation. So what's next? After all of that, the judges will deliberate and they will talk about how they felt the presentations went. We as a team, everyone, you and your teams and the judges will go out into breakout rooms. So then you'll be able to debrief, have a chat with your fellow colleagues as such, and you know, have a bit of a breather. Guests that are watching at YouTube, you will have a break. So feel free to get up, do some stretches, whatever makes you feel good, and then come back at a certain time and we'll put up a note just to let you know exactly what time we would like you to return, because 3 teams will receive a special acknowledgement from the judges. Now, I want to be very, very clear about this. Everyone has done an amazing job. Their projects are fantastic. And the people who, or the team, should I say, that get a special acknowledgement, they're not the winning teams. They're just teams that the judges have viewed their website, their one pager, and then they're viewing the pictures and have noted them and want to provide them with a special acknowledgement. It does not mean that your project is any less or, you know, than anything. You've all done an amazing job, and I really highly encourage you to continue your projects into the future if that's what you want to do, because I know there's a lot that do, and they are very well deserving, and I see a lot of legs on them. So definitely keep that in mind. They will be judging it based on the booklet and pictures, just to let you know. Oh, we've come to the time. So enough from me. I wish you all the very, very best. I know you're all going to do amazing. We did, just for everyone else's note, we did a pre-event workshop and everyone had to do a bit of an activity, which was an off-the-cuff sort of presentation in 30 seconds. They all did it in the perfect timing and they all had amazing content. So I expect no less tonight, no pressure, but I'm sure that you'll absolutely execute it to the best and it will be amazing for everyone to watch. So a huge good luck, teams, and we will get started. So I will stop sharing my slides and I will call out the first team. Just give me a moment, sorry, having to mix. Wonderful. So if we could please have a reasonable standard share their slides and take the presentation. I will have my phone at the ready with the timer. If you could get introduce yourselves, I'll put myself on mute, introduce yourselves individually. That will not consume any of your 3 minutes.
Hi. Yes. So my name is An. Yeah, I'm a third-year law student, law commerce student, double degree. And our project is reasonable standards. Yeah. I'll see the next one.
Hi, I'm Imogen. I'm a 4th year arts law student, and I hope everyone enjoys our presentation for a reasonable standard.
Hi, I'm Marcus. I'm a 2nd year JD student, and like Imogen said, I hope everyone, including the judges, really enjoys our presentation because we certainly worked hard on it.
Hi, my name's Mariam. I'm also part of a reasonable standard, and I'm doing commerce and law in my 2nd year. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
Hello everyone, my name's Jonna. I'm a 1st year JD student and I'll be doing the presentation today.
Wonderful, Gianna. And are you the last of your team to say hello?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. You can start when you're ready.
Alrighty. Mental health is a serious problem within the legal community. It can affect anyone, regardless of age, gender, background, or any other circumstances that you may be facing. However, the legal community is severely lacking when it comes to addressing issues surrounding mental health. The important conversations are being sidestepped, and seeking help is often stigmatized. A reasonable standard was created in response to the poor standard to which mental health is addressed in the legal community. It is our vision that through producing relatable and vulnerable content, we can promote and encourage a social norm which fosters support and understanding when it comes to mental health. Further, we believe that beginning this journey as students is particularly important. Hence, our content is written by law students for law students, because we understand that the mental health challenges we face can be incredibly unique. The legal community is lacking in understanding, awareness, and engagement when it comes to mental health. To address these issues, ARS has undertaken 3 main projects. To promote understanding, our team of writers produce content based upon their own experiences with mental health throughout law school, with a particular focus on finding solutions. To encourage awareness, we are running a wide promotional campaign that covers multiple platforms and is heavily targeted at law students. Finally, to improve awareness around the issue of mental health in the legal community, but also to encourage people to engage with mental health issues and contribute to the conversation themselves. To improve engagement, ARS has been collaborating with like-minded organizations, not only to improve awareness around the issue of mental health in the legal community, but also to encourage people to engage with mental health issues and contribute to the conversation themselves. So far, we have had significant success with encouraging understanding, awareness, and engagement. Despite the difficulties associated with this year, we have been able to produce multiple new articles. We have seen an increase in awareness due to our social media promotion, and we have successfully collaborated with the Law Institute of Victoria to begin encouraging more people to engage with the mental health conversation. At a reasonable standard, our goal is to become a fixture of the legal community. We know that mental health is not an issue that will ever disappear, but it can be managed through understanding and effective support. We hope to facilitate the necessary understanding and support by starting the conversation around mental health and promoting that social norm of acceptance. We know mental health is never fully going away, but neither is a reasonable standard. That's our pitch for today, guys. If you have any questions, please ask.
Thanks for that, Jana. I'll go. It's difficult not sitting side by side with the other judges just to see if you guys had questions as well. So thanks so much for your presentation, Jana. That was great. My question is around content, which is something that I'm particularly interested in. What's some content that you produced this year that you're particularly proud of, or a piece of content that you're quite keen on producing?
Look, I think there's been 2 articles that we've written this year that have been focused. One was focused around COVID, And it was written from my perspective of being a first-year student coming into a new university, into a new degree, and then suddenly being told you can't be on campus anymore. You don't get to create those connections and have that community feeling anymore. You have to do it all through a screen. So I wrote one about coping with those problems and the solutions that I sought to ensure that I could still engage with my community and I could get through that sort of disconnected, isolated feeling. So personally, I'm quite proud of that one. But we've also had another one written by one of our international students who was looking, it was sort of a help article around seeking employment in other jurisdictions outside of Australia. And now we thought that was a really important article to make because we know that in Australia, there's a lot of international students who might end up working back in their home countries. And we always like to try and make that sort of transition easier, to try and address the issues that they might face and to try and give them some solutions and collate some information to ease their journey. So that one was important because it demonstrates that our content, it does deal mostly with mental health and mental health issues and well-being, but we also try and provide information for areas that we know can be an issue for students so that they can ease their transition into those areas. And as for future content, look, we have a fair few things in the work. I know all of our writers are always considering different ideas, but for me, one that I'm writing is about coping mechanisms. It's something that's been revealed to me this year is that coping mechanisms are incredibly important in our life and how we handle them is very important as well. And starting this new degree and discovering that law has a great deal of pressure in it has made me realize that I really need to understand that. And I want to share the process I've gone through to make sure that I have good coping mechanisms for everyone else. So yeah, that's our content pretty much.
Great. Thanks, John.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So we'll move on to the next team, cultural competency, if you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready. I'll just share my screen if I can figure it out. Is it working?
Yes.
Cool.
And if you guys can just introduce yourself, just a quick hi and your name.
Yeah. I'll introduce on behalf of everyone because it's just myself and Anastasia here. Sorry. So welcome to the Competent Lawyer. My name is Ariadne Paris. I'm final year arts law at Clayton Campus Monash, and Anastasia Petralis, who's also here, she's a second year commerce law. Amisha, she's also a final law and arts gal like me, and Chiquita is penultimate commerce law as well. So welcome to the Competent Lawyer. We're a group of soon-to-be lawyers from Monash University dedicated to highlighting the importance of cultural competency in the legal profession. So what is cultural competency? Basically, through our research, we've found that as we work and operate in an increasingly globalized world, it's important that we possess the skills necessary to communicate with and effectively interact with people across different cultures. Cultural competency requires being aware of your own cultural values and views and the impact that these can have on your own choices and decision-making in the workplace. And basically, we realized last year, because we're a group coming from last year, that there wasn't enough focus on this at uni. So last year, we basically focused on building a seminar regarding cultural competency in the legal workplace. We live in an increasingly diverse world, and the value of being culturally competent cannot be underestimated. We last year had a panel of professionals with a variety of different cultural backgrounds and discussed their experiences both in cultural competency and incompetency at work. The students last year were exposed to such important discussions and realized their own insensitivity and bias in the workplace. It was eye-opening and extremely constructive for the students. So our efforts last year were recognized by this program, and we were awarded a grant to further the project. So our mission this year was to develop similar seminars on the importance of cultural competency, to provide resources on cultural competency training, and to continue to spread awareness and information on the topic. So in 2020, we basically had the same goals as last year, but we're hit with COVID, so we couldn't do an in-person seminar. But our goals were essentially the same. So we did a few things. So we had a name change. We used to be known as Legally Not Blondes, but we changed to a more formal, The Competent Lawyer, for LinkedIn purposes. We did more research in terms of speakers to get, and we wanted to run a seminar that was more topical than last year, that was very general. So we basically set up the Competent Lawyer on Facebook and LinkedIn, and did conduct a seminar via Zoom. So our LinkedIn page and Facebook page have 71 and 21 followers respectively, and we've published 2 original pieces of content to date explaining cultural competency, and the other one was an interview with a legal professional working in immigration. So we have 803 average number of LinkedIn impressions on each of our posts, which is great, a great start. And we hope to continually regulate content that engages with the opportunity that we have to develop networks of other culturally competent professionals. Probably the greatest thing we achieved this year was our seminar. So we conducted an online cultural competency seminar with a focus on Indigenous Australians. So we managed to get 2 really amazing speakers, Tamika Williams, a lawyer from the Northern Territory, and Sean Andrews, a well-known Indigenous educator. We had about 40 attendees on the Zoom, and it really seemed to bring light to Indigenous Australia and the issues they have with cultural competency in the legal workplace. It was quite difficult in the middle of COVID, networking via social media that we'd never met these people, and we're just trying to put our feelers out, the organisation in how to deal with advertising when we weren't going into uni, the tech skills in terms of making Zoom secure and not having any hackers and things turn up, and also how to maintain a thoughtful discussion with Indigenous representatives on such a intense topic at times. But all in all, we think it went really well. We've heard some really great feedback, and we really hope to continue to run more of these engaging seminars on more topics relating to cultural competency, and building closer ties with the Diversity and Inclusion Week teams. So that's basically it. That was our pitch. That's what we did, and we hope we can continue with our project.
That was fantastic. I'll jump in, and I raised my hand, so I hope I'm following the proper protocol.
I don't think I saw.
Oh my God, it's me. Congratulations. Absolutely fantastic presentation. And I just wanted to say I'm just so proud that you were able to, change with COVID and you actually continue to do it, because certainly what I viewed and, a project that we were involved with Alter, we went from in 6-week period, an in-person conference to a virtual, and, it would have been really easy for us to say, we're not doing it, it's too hard, and we'll skip a year. So absolutely huge congratulations for you to actually for your whole team to getting through it. My question for you is, with next year continuing in this on, have you thought about whether you do a hybrid version, so maybe have an in-person component with a virtual component, or how did you really feel? Was the engagement quite lacking in terms of the virtual, or was it surprisingly actually really meaningful? What were your thoughts on that?
It was surprisingly more meaningful than last year. We only had, I think, 20-ish people come to the in-person one at Monash, but the Zoom seminar, I think there's so much more accessibility. You can watch it in your room. It's really casual, people with their cameras off. So we actually had more engagement, and we got a few questions coming through. People weren't as, I think, fearful to ask face-to-face. They kind of typed them privately to us. So I think going forward, doing them online won't only be easier to organise, but it might actually be better in terms of getting people engaged. And also, Tamika was in the Northern Territory when we did the seminar. So in terms of having guest speakers, they don't have to actually come all the way to Clayton. They can be at work or at their homes. And yeah, so it was more engaging and more far-reaching, I think, having it on Zoom.
Congratulations, thank you, and keep at it. Absolutely brilliant.
Wonderful, fantastic work, team. You guys have done amazing as well, and the first team as well. So thank you. Next, we have Encyclopedia.
Hi everyone, my name is Justine and I'm a second-year straight law student, and I'm here on behalf of Encyclopedia.
Hi everyone, my name's Kit. It's good to see you all today, and I hope you enjoy our presentation.
Hi everyone, I'm Eileen. I won't be presenting tonight, but I'm just here to support the rest of our team, and really excited for Justine and Kit to tell you about our project.
Ready when you are.
As law students, a common struggle many of us face is that of deciding what we want to do with our law degrees. However, researching and exploring the diverse and varied areas of law can be very tedious. The information isn't always accessible, it could be difficult to understand, or you may not know where to look. Sometimes you just want to ask somebody who works in the field, but you don't have the contacts. Hi everyone. Today, I'm here on behalf of Encyclopedia to share with you how our team's project resolves this issue. As fellow law students, we understand that struggle firsthand and we wanted to do something about it. From previous insights, we have determined that students want to know the reality of what work in the various fields entails, and that students are eager to learn more about commercial and emerging areas of law. We have since built an online portal through Squarespace to bridge this gap between law school and legal practice. Through conducting specifically tailored interviews with established legal practitioners, we learn about the areas of law that they specialize in, what their everyday work involves, and we also receive advice on how a student might pursue a career in that particular field. We compile this with recommended electives, extracurricular activities, and related articles into a simple, digestible overview of the area of law. Here is a peek at our guide on technology law. You can access the rest of it and more through our website, encyclopedia.org. I'll now pass the time to Kit to share with you Encyclopedia's achievements for 2020. Thank you.
Thanks, Justine. Our team has conducted 6 interviews so far this year, and each of our interviewees has provided fascinating insights into the legal world. Our recent interviews include tax law, criminal law, and as of earlier today, mergers and acquisitions. In order to grow awareness of Encyclopedia and the great interviews that we've conducted, we've started running 2 social media channels, Facebook and LinkedIn. Our team has also started using Canva to produce eye-catching graphics that feature release announcements as well as pull-out quotes from the interviews. This year, we've also secured publication of our release announcements in the Law Gazette. We've developed our search engine optimization to improve our Google searchability. And lastly, our team continues to reach out to legal professionals in the hope of securing new interviews. In order to take Encyclopedia to the next level in 2021, our team is hoping to secure funding for a few different initiatives. First, we need to renew our web hosting on Squarespace. Next, we hope to create video content to complement our written interviews. And lastly, we have discussed the idea of creating a physical mail-out campaign to supplement our email outreach. All in all, it's been a great year for our team, and we look forward to the challenges ahead. And that's it from us. Thanks for tuning in.
Go for it, Karen. You've got your hand up.
No, Nikki, you go. I was just clapping.
All right, thanks so much. Thanks, team. That was terrific. My eye was drawn to your presentation on Phil Magnus. Phil is a former student of mine with a really interesting career, having moved from the forensic studies in policing to looking at that now in the law in a very corporate environment. And that made me wonder, how do you go about sourcing the professionals that you want to reach out to? Because I think your proposition is an excellent one. It's very difficult to know at law school what particular areas of law are actually like to practice and how they might marry with the subjects you might choose to do.
I'm happy to take that one. We try a few different things, but mostly we go hunting on LinkedIn and we try sort of direct emailing. It's a bit hit and miss because people are busy, but we kind of just do a bit of a brute force approach and try every week to at least send out a couple of emails per team member. And we've also heavily drawn on any of our private connections, friends or family, and they've often been really great people to interview.
Excellent. Thanks, Kit. Thanks, Justine.
Thanks, team. That's wonderful. Next up, we have international legal careers. If you could just do a brief introduction, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name's Patrick. I'm with the team on International Legal Careers. We're here with Nancy as well, so I might just, because most of our team is not present, I might just introduce the whole team on our behalf. Nancy's a second year arts law student. We also have Ollie Gregario, David Gatford and Anna Pantazis who aren't here with us tonight. The benefits of globalization and the interconnectedness of the modern world are not only limited to enabling recreational pursuits or global trade, but can also involve unique business opportunities and the development of international careers across a range of disciplines. The implications of this for the legal profession are that the portfolio of the modern lawyer is no longer limited to working at a local or national firm. Rather, the notion of the international lawyer is now a practical reality. And bringing the prospect of an international career into the purview of law students, legal academics, and lawyers seeking international experience is the primary objective of our project, International Legal Careers. Founded from the Law Ambassador Program in 2018, International Legal Careers manages an online legal information database that outlines the requirements for becoming legally qualified in over 25 different civil and common law countries. The database lists the visa requirements, major legal firms, preferred work experience, and legal qualification requirements to canvass the practice of law overseas. Despite the challenges...
Sorry to interrupt. If you have slides, they're not showing at the moment.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Just press share screen on the bottom, Patrick, if it's there, on the bottom of Zoom.
Terribly sorry, everyone.
That's okay.
We can award points for me ruining your flow.
It should have a share screen, which might come up as a green arrow on the bottom toolbar in the Zoom.
It does. Sorry.
You were doing great without them anyway, so you can carry on if you wish.
I don't intend to hold anyone up. Let me try. Okay.
Brilliant, we can see that.
Okay, great. Terribly sorry, everyone.
That's
all good. It was sounding very visual, so I wanted to make sure that we got a good look at it.
Okay, good. All right. Despite the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, the work of ILC and the popularity of our database continues to steadily increase. The database initially received between 10 to 20 visits and an average of 300 web impressions per month. Now we record an average of 600 visits and 12,000 web impressions per month, with viewers from the United States, United Kingdom, and India displaying the most interest. We've also introduced a new research team in early 2020, made up of Ollie, David, Nancy, and Anna, who are on the slides tonight, and have collaborated with fellow Law Ambassador Project, LawCate, in a promotional venture. Our organisation is also capitalising on interactions with the local and international legal community. We have finalised endorsement proposals to local upper-tier legal firms, such as Ashurst, Allens, and Cause Chambers Westcast, to duly assist ILC in promoting our database and to engage directly with the local legal community. In the long term, ILC is also planning to establish a base in Leeds, United Kingdom in September 2021. This is anticipated to both expand our engagement with the legal community on an international scale, but also approach possibilities of international internships built on a professional international relationship and in a similar but distinct common law jurisdiction. In summary, our unwavering mission is to bridge the discrepancy between a lack of awareness of legal opportunities abroad and capitalise on the enthusiasm of those seeking to diversify their legal careers with international experience. We're excited to implement initiatives planned for the future and hope to continue providing a valuable resource to those eager to learn what awaits them in the international profession. Thank you.
Can stop sharing your screen if you wish, Patrick. And any questions?
Yes, I've got a question. Thanks, Patrick. That was fantastic. My question is, well, firstly, if you are seeking further funding, and secondly is what insights you have into international practice, or how COVID has impacted on international practice of law.
Well, so a big base for the project itself was on the premise that many firms, not just upper tier firms, but many firms in general, are operating not simply within a national or local framework, as I explained on the slide, but firms like Ashurst have offices in London, Germany, Melbourne, and our understanding was that there was a gap between students' awareness of what they could do overseas in these offices and how accessible, or what was required, and the accessibility of those opportunities to students. In terms of COVID, the tricky thing is, I guess it's a two-level problem. On one level, everything is virtual these days and people interact across thousands of kilometers over Zoom, as we are all tonight. We're trying more to, in spite of COVID, and obviously we've been handicapped by the travel restrictions, which is a key object of our entire mission. But our message has been to, even though international travel is more of a prospect rather than a pursuit at the moment, our advice has been to research and continue planning about what's out there, which is exactly the kind of thing that our database allows research on. And that in spite of all the travel restrictions at the moment, there's still a lot to be said about actually going overseas, embracing the culture, embracing the community. And our website opens the door into that kind of pathway. And so in answer to your question, despite COVID, and I guess luckily a lot of what can be done is over virtual and over Zoom and over emails, but in spite of that, we're more keen on an in-person physical attendance to what's actually out there on the international profession.
Great, thanks. Very interesting.
Wonderful, fantastic work. Next, we have Law Student Bible, and just for the sake of time, if we can introduce as we're presenting, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Stefano Mascaro, and I'll be one of the two presenters tonight.
Good evening, my name is Dia. I'm a fourth year law science student, and I'll be one of the presenters for tonight too.
Hi everyone, my name is Angelo. I'm a fourth year commerce and law student.
Hi everyone, I'm Christina and I'm a fifth year law and global studies student.
Good evening everyone, my name is Francesco and I'm a fourth year law global studies student.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Bridget. I'm a fourth year law and commerce student, and as a whole, we are the Law Student Bible.
Wonderful. Your presentation starts now.
Good evening, distinguished guests, judges, and fellow ambassador groups. Tonight, we're here to present the Law Student Bible podcast. We're all decided to participate in the Monash Law Ambassador Program to enhance our university experiences, which was achieved through developing networking and leadership skills, attending industry-based workshops, and being part of a tight-knit group to work on a project that we're all passionate about.
With the existing legal podcast market mostly targeted towards the experiences of professional lawyers, we noticed that there was a lack of content made for current and future law students. Our team is made up of a diverse group of law students from varying stages of our degrees. We are passionate about improving the law student experience by addressing the stigma and stereotypes often associated with law schools, and we're not afraid to share our honest opinions and tips on how to navigate university.
We wanted to present our podcast in the most fun and entertaining way possible, while still being informative and educational. One of the ways we have tried to engage with our predominantly Monash law student audience is by parodying our titles to the names of law units. So far, we have published a total of 4 episodes with topics ranging from starting law school, studying during a global pandemic, alternative career paths, and the importance of mental well-being for law students.
In the first few months, we focused on establishing effective means of communication and planning the future direction of our project. This set us up to experience successes throughout the year with a strong sense of teamwork and accountability present within the group. Despite losing 2 group members earlier on and not being able to collaborate on the project face-to-face, we remained resilient and continued the progression of our project, establishing key deadlines for tasks to be completed and episodes to be released. Despite not having an existing audience, our widely marketed first episode had over 100 unique listeners tuning in within the first 2 days of its release. In a year where collaborations were difficult to organize, we were fortunate enough to have collaborated with A Reasonable Standard to discuss mental well-being for law students for our most recent episode. This episode is currently in the process of being shared and promoted on the LIV website, and we view this recognition as a reflection of all the hard work we put into the project, and it was truly a great way to finish the program. This timeline represents our achievements throughout working on the project and areas for improvement that can be addressed in the future.
For the future of LSB, we hope to collaborate with more groups and organizations within and outside of Monash, as well as Monash alumni and industry professionals. Ideally, we would also like to take this podcast to the next level by recording episodes in a studio, which has professional recording equipment. Overall, we are thrilled with the way we've managed ourselves as a team, and we're really proud of the quality of content we've produced so far. As such, we do not believe funding will be necessary for our project to continue developing at this point in time.
Thank you all for listening, and we will now invite any questions from the panel.
I might go next. We seem to be going in an order, so we'll stick with it. How about that, judges? Congratulations. Fantastic presentation, and what amazing episodes that you've produced. And I'm really, really enjoying all the collaboration between all the teams, and seeing that that seems to be a theme that's running through, that you're all supporting each other and collaborating, which is really outstanding to see. I just had a question around that first episode, that first podcast episode that you actually released. What did you do to stand out? Because I know the podcast market is a really, really incredibly difficult one, and it's quite flooded. So talk me through a little bit about how you were able to go from absolutely no audience to having, some really great, listens to your first episode. Talk me through that process.
Well, I think that our main point of differentiation is the fact that we're solely based on the experiences of law students. There are a lot of legal podcasts talking about after law school. So in this way, we were kind of directed towards current law students at Monash Law, but also VCE students thinking about getting into law school and what that might involve. And so the way we marketed our first episode was through the Monash Law Facebook group, which a lot of law students can be there. And that's where we got the majority of our listens. But in the future, we will definitely look towards expanding this reach to high schools and to other universities as well. If we can provide any sort of benefit to other law students, then we'll do that.
Fantastic. And I was actually going to say that's a brilliant thing. I get a lot of universities that this is, something that would be a really amazing, valuable resource, and how wonderful that you're also, I guess, targeting those high school students that will need that support, particularly this generation coming up from COVID years. So congratulations, everybody. That was fantastic.
Thank you.
Really well done again. Next up, we have Law to Date, and unfortunately, just due to time restrictions, we might skip introductions and get straight away into the actual presentation. Thank you.
I might just share my screen. Awesome. So we're Law to Date. Sonia, if you want to go first.
Sure. As the law develops to reflect our society, it's equally important to understand our rights and responsibilities in conjunction with these developments and evolving legal processes. By bi-weekly uploading a mixture of legal reporting, interviews, and opinion pieces, Law to Date serves as an online platform where our team members are able to apply our statutory interpretation and legal research skills in order to explain concepts and developments that traditionally appear inaccessible because of daunting legalese. We're also able to incorporate our personal interests, such as environmental, employment, and human rights law, into our work, Ultimately, we aim to report on developments in the legal sector in a way that attracts those who would otherwise be indifferent. So just a bit about our work. As I said earlier, we author a mix of legal reporting, case notes, and opinion pieces. To date, we have 19 publications up on our website, lawtodate.com, and we've just listed some of our notable pieces there. So there's the Australian government being sued for a failure to disclose financial risks of climate change. That's the piece I authored on environmental law. We also have a piece on, considering personality disorders as a mitigating factor. Yeah, the others are there for you to read. I don't want to take up too much of Alina's time, so I'll give it over to her.
Awesome. So now we'll talk a bit about what we've done so far. So with our 19 uploads, we've had 1,023 unique visitors, 1,132 visits, and 2,802 page views. And as you can see, our stats there, when we first launched, we had a surplus of views, and as we post bi-weekly, so we post twice a week, so every time we post, it seems to go up a bit. And then obviously in our down days, when we don't post, there's not as much. And we noticed that our social media plays a huge role in our growth. So we've spent a lot of time on our Instagram and LinkedIn, really trying to beat everything up. And this is our international reach. So we've actually seen that around 22 countries access our website and read our articles. So originally, though, we only started posting Australian law. We then expanded and started writing about international law and things about law overseas because we saw how wide our reach actually was. And sorry, I'm just trying to skip through. And then our future is that we want to keep posting consistently. We've seen that every single time we post, we get more people viewing it. We see consistent growth in our social media following and views on our website. So we want to keep doing that. And we also want to get to our interviews, which we always wanted to do, but we wanted to build like a foundation of articles and legal research and reports first. And so now that we've got a good base, we want to start getting experts in to tell us about their opinion about all the sort of things that we write about. And we also thought there was scope for collaboration with other law ambassador groups. And yeah, we want to expand our international reach even more if we can through maybe our social media. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.
That was terrific. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I have a question that's very pointed. Given that the Trial by Kyle show has not been signed on for a second season, I wonder how much people actually care about the law who are outside of the law. So who are the people, do you think, who are excluded because of legalese, who are therefore your audience all around the world, amazingly, who will want to jump into your information and content?
Well, I think that what we've seen is that around the world and through our social media, the people that have interacted most with our articles are people who have absolutely no interaction with law overseas or with about the intricacies of how the law actually applies. So whenever we write about something, and I think this is what distinguishes us, is that we don't just report on what's happening in the news. What we then do is that we actually break down the law. And so even people who like siblings, our family members, our friends, because we get all these questions about why does this happen and why didn't he get convicted with this and why do you only get convicted with that? And so we really break down all these different elements and we apply everything not only to Australia, but also to more of a lens of what it's like actually being inside this entire world where all you see on the news is all these scandals, but you don't fully understand. Like, for example, we wrote about Dan Andrews and the class actions against him. So we did the reporting of what was on the media, but we also broke down what a class action actually is, how do you start a proceeding, what are the chances of success? And we kind of do that with all of our articles, which I think is what distinguishes us from other websites. And yeah.
Thanks, Alina. That was great. Can I please give my mother your number so she can text you instead of me?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Another great presentation. Thank you so much, team. We are up to Law Kate, please.
Hi, my name's Sebastian Costas, and for the sake of time, I won't introduce the team. I'll just get straight into it. I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a first-year law student who's just completed your first semester of law at Monash. You know where to find the best coffee on campus. You know your way around without getting lost. You made it through foundations of law, and you even learned how to cite using the AGLC. But what now? You hear a lot about needing to get involved with opportunities, to build employability skills, to network, to do co-curriculars, to build an impressive resume. But you don't know where to start. There are too many places to find opportunities, and it seems that everyone around you is getting involved and has it all figured out. You're worried that you're falling behind. All this worry is resolved with Law Kate. Our vision is a community of law students prepared for their futures. And over the past 7 months, our team has been working hard towards this vision. We've done this in 3 key ways. Firstly, we established our brand new website, a platform showcasing opportunities to assist students studying and working remotely during lockdown. We have had over 1,000 website visitors so far. We have also partnered with 4 other law ambassador groups to promote their projects on our site. Secondly, we have created unique careers-related interviews with legal professionals, graduates, and high-achieving Monash law students. Our first 2 interviews alone have gained 4,000 views across our social media platforms. And finally, our big project this year has been in developing our new app. Soon to be on the app stores, we conducted a user testing workshop with a group of Monash law students, made key changes, and cannot wait for this app to be on the phone of every law student. But at Law Kate, we like to look to the future. So we will continue to make iterative improvements to our app. But to do this, we require support in 2 ways, through funding and partnerships. Funding would be used to continue the running of the app and allow us to respond to user feedback by adding features such as information filters, user profiles, and a save feature. Building upon our partnerships with the law faculty, the LSS, and other law ambassador groups will ensure that our content is up to date and of a high quality. Now, I want you to place yourselves back in the shoes of a first-year law student. But now 5 years later, you're graduating. But you're graduating as part of the Law Kate community, a community which helped you engage with opportunities, network with employers, and build key skills. It was more than just a resource for you. It was the community which meant you made the most of your time at law school. It was a community that supported you through your law student journey. And it was a community that prepared you with the skills for your future. That community is Law Kate. Thank you, and I'll now invite some questions.
Thanks for that, Sebastian. That was great, really interesting and very nice presentation too. So you've mentioned that you would require some funding to grow Law Kate into the future, and looking at your presentation, I can understand why. So what sort of figure have you decided that you need, and what are some of the areas that you see that you need some financial backing for?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So with our app, the main costs for that are just the monthly running costs. So for the first 3 months, our app developer has quoted $150, so $50 per month. And obviously those costs will increase as we have a bigger user base. So as the user base grows, the app maintenance costs grow with that figure of users, as well as looking towards adding improvements to the app. So obviously adding in those user profiles and save features, they cost more money due to just the nature of how it works. I'm not an app developer at all, so I don't know how it works, but if I'm talking with the app developer we've been using, that's what we've been told. But to add on to that, we have been looking at ways to create, to generate our own revenue through ads or through sort of affiliate marketing, just to cover our costs, because obviously the running costs are a monthly thing.
Great, thanks for that. That was really impressive. Thanks.
Thank you.
Well done, team, really great. Up next, we have Law Links, please.
Good evening, panels and everyone. Our LawLinks project was initiated and designed to collate the array of resources available to Monash law students into a single platform. We've had discussions with our friends, relatives and other students undertaking law studies to understand the perspective on searching for important law resources. It was evident that the vast majority of students struggle to efficiently engage with and locate these information. Further, we also considered the hurdles faced by first-year students when they're presented with a bundle of resources that are scattered in various places. What we found was that a number of students missed out the opportunity to explore important resources until later years in their law school. This is because they were unaware of the crucial resources available to them. This realization led to the formation of LawLinks, a one-stop shop of fundamental law resources. Students' welfare and development is a key focus of our initiative. As law students, we're familiar with the tiresome navigation from one store of resources to another. As such, we have developed LawLinks to make it easier and more convenient for all law students. Our objectives are to promote efficiency by compiling fundamental resources and making them readily available to law students, enhance student learning experience and employability, assisting with study progression, and promote the Monash University community. LawLinks improves the learning experiences of each law student as it decreases the amount of required researching available to tackle a particular task. We're primarily focusing on our website as the main source of engagement. We're also in the process of developing social media pages such as Facebook and Instagram to increase awareness of our initiative. Our LawLinks website is divided into categories such as study tips, careers, law library resources, and mental resources. By structuring these information into categories, we hope that it will make it easier for students to navigate and search for the required resources in an efficient manner. Our initiative is unique and much needed, and is essential to enable students to excel in their studies. We are looking at students' welfare from all aspects and endeavour to expand the project by collaborating with other law ambassador team and exploring new resources to enable students to use our platform optimally. We have a vision and passion to improve the experience of law students at Monash, and we wish to continue our vision into our future. Finally, we thank you, Monash, for the opportunities provided to us in the Monash Law Ambassador Program, and appreciate everyone for your attendance at our showcase briefing this evening. If you have further questions, please don't hesitate to raise a question or email us directly via lawlinks with an S 2020@gmail.com, or visit our website at the slideshow provided. Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations, that was fantastic. I had a question just in relation to, do you have any plans to actually sort of deliver this beyond Monash, so to other law schools, or are you seeing this very much to be a Monash Law School initiative?
Currently, as you can see, well, in our team at the moment, we've got a very small team only of 3. So our intention now is to be able to provide all these resources to particularly Monash students. But over time, gradually, as we build on our website, as well as other media such as Facebook and Instagram mentioned, in terms of the attraction and demands of our website, then we do endeavour to expand that into a broader law university in the future. Yeah.
That's wonderful. And did you have first year law students involved in the project as well? Were you able to get that research?
Myself, which is why we thought that we'll put this together, because I find as a first year students, I find that, you know, in addition to all the contents to be read and study loads, I just find it's very effective to be able to pull all the resources into the one platform so we can access from there, particularly the fundamental ones.
Congratulations.
Can I please check that everyone was able to see my slides?
We were.
Okay,
we were.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
Amazing work. Good team. Good job, team. Up next, we have Legal Buzz. Thank you.
Just give me a second to share my screen.
No problem. Lan, can you press stop sharing on yours if possible, please?
Thank you. Cool. Is everyone able to see that?
Certainly, you might want to put it on presentation mode.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Just a moment. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Hi everyone, thanks for coming tonight. I'm Brinny and I'm part of the Legal Buzz team. I won't do introductions, but our names are right there on the slide. So I'm part of the Legal Buzz initiative, which was born out of the issue that it's very difficult for law students to interact with professionals in the law without pre-existing connections. And also the area of environmental law has been extremely overlooked, despite the fact that more and more law students are becoming climate conscious. Therefore, we set up the project goal of connecting students with environmental law and legal experts. In 2020, we pivoted towards providing online talks and remote resources instead of our original idea, which was community working bees. So we formed in 2018 as part of the Law Ambassador Programme, and we were lucky enough to win the grand prize in 2019. And we're a range of law students from second year to law graduates now. And what we really want to do is promote environmentally conscious action from legal professionals across a variety of fields.
Hi, so this year we had our first Zoom event discussing developments in environmental law with Associate Professor Jerry Nagsum. So we reached a lot of students across different degrees and universities. And on the slide, we just have some of the comments from our feedback form, really highlighting how friendly and engaging the event was. And someone also said that Jerry is so smart, which we can't exactly take credit for, but just really goes to show the importance of hosting these webinar events to really enhance the connections between students and legal professionals. So I'll pass on to Bronson talking about Legal Buzz's growth.
Bronson, are you able to unmute? If not, I might just take over here and Bronson can join back in if he's able to do that. So since 2019, we've experienced exponential growth on our Facebook page. We've currently got 164 likes, 20 new followers on LinkedIn, an average post reach of 60 people. So we want to continue boosting these numbers. We're keeping people informed about environmental law news as well as our own events. And I think this has also helped us to foster engagement beyond the Monash community. We had a few people from different universities already attend our event. So for 2021, we want to continue to expand our panel series to focus on a range of environmental issues. So we were thinking about doing something on the intersection between the environment and corporate law. We wanted to recruit legal professionals outside of the Monash bubble, which is somewhat difficult to do with our lack of connections, but we're going to keep trying. And if possible, we'd love to run another community working bee on campus because this is great for the whole university community. Thank you so much for listening to our presentation, and we're happy to take any questions. Also, Bronson, if you're there, free.
Oh. Congratulations, everybody. I think my internet might be unstable for a moment, so hopefully you can hear me. I have to confess that I get chills down my spine when I hear the word working bees because I'm 6 years out of having primary school students and I've nearly recovered from the trauma. But having said that, the term is so evocative and I think people really understand what a working bee is. For me, the idea of working bees and planting trees goes together so well in a terrific way to get to meet people and work on something that you have a common interest in. I'm interested in knowing, other than planting trees, what other kinds of environmental action can you foresee in the future? And can you have a working bee to start a class action, for example?
It's interesting you mentioned the idea of a class action, because a few people were asking about similar things like that around our event. Especially the idea of setting up a land court in Victoria, which is not specifically a class action, but it's a related issue. So definitely we want to provide more opportunities for people to get involved in advocacy beyond just the normal tree planting. And I think we also have plans to expand it just beyond planting trees on campus. Yushan has some connections on a local council who we are hoping might be able to help us out as soon as we get things a bit more back to normal with COVID.
Thank you. I'm sure there'll be lots of opportunities.
Thank you, team. Great work. Legal Latte is up next. If you can stop sharing your screen, please, and share your screen, Legal Latte.
Just a confirmation, everything's all right?
Correct. Yes, you might want to put it on presentation mode. Fantastic. Something else.
Awesome. Well, I think first person who's going to start would be Fatima, so I'll let her introduce us and get going.
Yep. Good evening, everyone. I'm Fatima, and along with Meniki and Taylor, I will be presenting on behalf of the team at Legal Latte. Legal Latte is an innovative networking program that connects law students at all stages of their degree with legal professionals working across a wide array of practice areas over coffee. As law students, we understand that it is difficult to explore the different legal avenues available, as most of us don't have established legal networks at our fingertips. Moreover, although networking events are beneficial, they can feel forced and uncomfortable. As such, Legal Latte is a simple and easy way of putting students in touch with legal professionals from all areas of the law. The idea of having a coffee and conversation with a legal professional combines an easy, everyday action in a way that can be mutually beneficial. Legal Latte is unique. It distinguishes itself from other typical networking initiatives as the only commitment required by both parties is a single meeting over coffee and now via Zoom. However, parties may choose to remain in contact following the initial meeting if they wish to do so. As such, the mentoring relationship is never forced and built upon naturally.
Okay, I will be talking about what Legal Latte has achieved to date. So to increase interest from legal professionals, Legal Latte reached out to various legal bodies. The Victorian Bar shared our Google form on their LinkedIn page, which has around 14,000 followers. Furthermore, the Law Institute of Victoria shared some promotional material we created on their Instagram page, which has just under 2,000 followers. To date, Legal Latte has successfully paired 61 law students with legal professionals. And one of our success stories is matching a law student named Harrison with Megan Fitzgerald of the Victorian Bar, who practices in inquests, royal commissions, and public inquests. Harrison organised a Zoom meeting with Megan, and they spoke for about an hour and a half. Harrison shared with us that the opportunity to meet with a barrister was really fantastic, especially since he is considering a career at the bar. Megan shared some great tips regarding the best way to set up a legal career with him, and he found the meeting to be far more informative and useful than public events and forums about careers at the bar. Although the Legal Latte program doesn't impose an ongoing obligation on the legal professional to continue meeting with the student, Harrison and Megan are going to arrange a face-to-face meeting now that restrictions have been eased, and as such, we consider this to be a great success for our team.
Thanks, Taylor. Hello, everyone. My name is Meniki. As Taylor has mentioned, it's been a big year for Legal Latte, certainly, and it's been very appropriate with COVID. One focus for us over the next year will be to really build on the success that we've achieved by expanding and diversifying our efforts of reaching out to participants and legal professionals in particular, which are hard to come by. This will involve finding new organizations and groups to reach out to, but also refining and developing new explanatory materials about what we do as well. On a related note, we hope to develop some brand recognition for Legal Latte. We believe it's really important for the longevity of the program that as many people become familiar with Legal Latte, both within Monash University and in the profession, rather than it simply being seen as an ad hoc initiative. So I think, thank you for your time so far, and I'd like to open up to any questions if you have any.
Thanks for that, guys. That was really interesting, and looks like you got some runs on the board as well with those numbers. That's fantastic. As you demonstrated, you know, so much of your career progression is based upon who you know, and I can see that you're making a real effort to make inroads in that way. How do you propose to sort of strengthen your networks going forward to build that number from 61 upwards?
Taylor, do you want to take this or shall I?
I'm happy for you to take it.
Okay, awesome. Well, really for us, I think we've explored sort of reaching out to various professional organizations and trying now with LinkedIn as well. But I think the main thing is now to try and build on the success of the firm, on what we've done so far. I think lawyers tend to speak to other professionals, and if they can vouch for how well this is going, we're hoping they can bring their friends in. And I think that's, for us, that's how it all works, because it's all about those connections and those networks. So I think it's not only for the participants that networking is important, it's also important for us. Because I think you only buy into something once you trust it. We do appreciate some people have gone on a limb and really put some invested their time with us, but we hope that their words will carry a lot of weight, and they'll spread on the good word.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Great job, team. Life at Monash Law School is up next.
Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Eileen Copdill, and I've had the privilege of working with 4 amazing women on our project called Life at Monash Law School. So last year, our group focused on more career pathways. However, we realized that law students experience much more difficulties in other areas of law. So we've decided to make this project, and essentially we've created one single platform for all main law resources. So I'll first introduce our podcast called My Neighbour in Law. And essentially, my team and I wanted to differentiate ourselves from other podcasts. So we have tried to make this more of an interactive experience by having Monash Law students come talk to us about their experiences, as well as having other professionals come. We've aimed to make this podcast more of a soothing source so that students feel more comfortable to listen and more inclined to engage with us. And we've only published our podcast in the last month and have already had 43 plays on SoundCloud and 69 plays on Spotify. So we have 2 more very interesting people lined up. So look out for that, and I'll pass it on to my next member.
So our second major area of focus has been to develop some foundational first year resources. So as later year students, we all feel that we would have benefited from knowing more about what Monash had to offer us from the outset. So we've worked to create some engaging and straightforward content to help first year students navigate what's available. So far, this has included developing some short videos that will be featured on our website. We're also working to provide links to other Law Ambassadors projects, many who are also developing useful resources for first year students. We've published a Facebook page, which has received positive feedback from over 90 people so far. So in essence, we really wanted our website to be an all-encompassing platform that connects first years to what's available. So into the future, our main goals include finalising and publishing our website and continuing to develop our podcast. So this will involve revising and polishing the interface. And we also plan to continue interviewing students. We hope to get 1 more done by the end of the year. In the future, our ultimate goal is to publish 1 to 2 episodes per month and develop an online portal for interviewees to express their interest to be featured. So for our project, funding would mean that we can continue our subscriptions to SoundCloud Pro, RenderFrost and Webflow, which is our website platform. And long term, it would help us to develop some recording equipment so we can produce high quality episodes. So, thank you, guys.
Congratulations. Well done. I really love it. So my question is just around, I'm just thinking back to when I was a first year law student at Monash, and I think I spent the first half of starting trying to find a car park where I didn't get a fine and all that kind of stuff. So what's your plan to really sort of focus in on, law students understanding from that day one? Do you have a plan to kind of get to know them before they come into, join the law school at Monash? So maybe sort of doing some interactive videos to engage them at the beginning, or what's your plan?
So essentially, well, Monash already has a law community that engages with first year students, but I think to really engage with them, we wanted to provide that to the actual LSS so that they could give out our information and we can connect through them through that platform. So it's not an overlap with too many resources. But I think if we're able to actually send out, we wanted to get a PDF of like a little summary of what we would do and the resources we would provide. So if we could get that out to first year students before they came and show them all the things we have, then I think that'd be a really good initiative.
Wonderful, that sounds great. And I actually just had an image of you standing outside on the first day with a microphone, a roaming microphone, and recording. How are you feeling? What are you doing? You could do some live Vox Pops. Anyway, wonderful initiative. And yeah, love the name of the podcast too. Well done.
Thank you.
Great job, team. Next up, we have Moot Up, please.
So I'll be presenting for Moot Up. So who doesn't love mooting? When we talk about students want to be lawyers, we all imagine standing up in court, arguing our case, and looking like those lawyers on TV.
Sorry, you're a bit crackly. The audio is a little bit crackly.
Is this better?
That absolutely 100%.
Okay, there we go. So who doesn't love mooting? When we talk about the law and why students want to be lawyers, we all imagine standing up in court, arguing a case, and looking like the lawyers on TV. Mooting encapsulates all of this with the problem solving, competition, and everything about it. It really brings out the lawyer in you. However, not everyone gets to experience this. Mooting is great when you have your friends to do it and you all work together to work on the problem that you get. People who may not be able to attend uni on campus often, or people who might not have the same experiences as others, don't get to moot the same level. I think there might be an issue of the slides, but I'm just going to keep going. And, we see this happen a lot, especially with first years and also like students this year in general. And we realize that there's a couple common issues. Your teammates might not be able to match your experience level. The level of commitment that you have with your teammates might also not be the same. And you might not also be able to find a group of friends to moot with. And so we tried to come up with a solution to all of this. We attempted to create a platform where potential mooters are able to sign up their interest in mooting. This is targeted for people who don't have groups already. It will take into account the time commitment, relevant experience, and the expectations that you have in order to have so that you can have meaningful collaborations. Moot Up will then automatically match you up with students with a similar level of commitment, experience, and expectations to enhance your mooting experience.
Great, so we're still developing Moot Up right now to make sure that it is attractive to students and that it can protect the confidentiality of their identities. We have made progress in developing the framework of Moot Up through creating a website platform where students can input their personal information and their preferences based on the criteria discussed earlier. We are still in the process of integrating the code that allows students, that allocates students in teams based on these preferences. We also appreciate that given that Moot Up requires input of some private information, such as email addresses, along with the sharing of that information with potential teammates, it's essential that we have a secure platform to protect this data. This idea is scalable across universities and into the legal field in general. In the future, we envisage being able to use this program to assist litigators and advocates to connect with specialised peers for the purposes of the most effective client advocacy. We hope to continue developing Moot Up in the 2021 Law Ambassador Program, and we hope to secure funding to copyright our coding. We have multiple ideas on how we can use the code that our developers have created, as well as the website's interface, to upscale our program to target the broader legal profession, as well as other groups involved in mooting. That's it from Moot Up. Thanks for tuning in.
Well done. Congratulations. This, of course, is close to my heart. As a barrister, I love a good moot, and being involved in the mooting competitions. I was really glad to hear, Jacqueline, about this being scalable, because as Coy was talking, I was thinking, gosh, you could introduce this at the Victorian Bar to introduce senior counsel to junior counsel who might be looking for work in particular fields. So I've got a question for you about scalability. Is the intention that you could not only deal with connecting people for moots, but also for arbitrations, mediations, witness examination competitions, including between different universities for some of the international competitions that are currently being run online?
Thanks, Nikki. That is a great question, because that is absolutely our ambitious intention, to have the scalability of this project consider those areas. I'm very new to all of this, and yet I already know that I love mooting, I love competing, and I love the way that it brings people together. And I think that being able to incorporate this sort of technology to allow people to interact better, to make sure that mediation, advocacy, and even client witness examination, which is actually something we hadn't specifically considered, but now you mention it, makes perfect sense. It makes sense to be able to connect people like this in the professional space.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Well done.
Thank you.
Wonderful, great work. Next up, we have objection asked and answered, please.
I think I'll pass over the time to Arthur and Frida to start.
Yeah, so just want to say a very good evening to the judges, the panel, and all my fellow peers. So we are objection asked and answered, and basically our whole project revolves around, we realized that our peers in law school, especially at Monash Law, struggle to easily discover subjects and electives that are relevant in their career after law school. So through our project, Objective Asked and Answered, we aim to assist Monash Law students to discover the career path they would like to pursue through a structuring of their course map and selection of their free electives. And I'll pass the time over to Frida to explain more about how this works.
Thank you. Through our project, we hope to collate from students in various years the helpful insights of different electives they have completed, to showcase their various course maps and share their advice. With their help, current Monash Law students can benefit from seeing how their seniors crafted their course map and the electives they chose, alongside the advice they provide regarding aspects to, but not limited to, the timing of electives and how to plan for exchange and or transfer programs.
In order to view our project, you may go to either our website or our Facebook page. Our project relies heavily on the contributions of past and present students. We use the information gathered from these individuals to collate a variety of different insights that can be used by interested students when planning their degrees. So far, we have managed to interview and gather course maps from a variety of individuals who are at different places in their degrees, have different career objectives and interests. We know that everyone's time at law school is different, and that is why our resources are created by and are applicable to a diverse range of individuals. It is our hope that the information we have gathered will be useful to current students in planning their future.
Good evening, everyone. Patricia here. And so moving forward, there's a great potential we see for our project to expand with greater contribution and recognition from students, as well as potential collaborations. And so we really aim to improve and get more traffic onto our website, as well as our Facebook page. The project really flourishes on student engagement with our resources. And so we hope to collect a variety of responses from students studying different degrees, be it a single law degree or a double degree, and their varying majors, considering there's almost an endless number of combinations that one can be studying. At the same time, we're also really welcoming feedback at this point from students on how we can better improve the efficiency and usability of the information that we have collected. And ultimately, we do hope that our project can answer questions that students have with regards to planning their elective selections as well as mapping their degrees, thus our project name, Objection Asked and Answered. So that rounds off our pitch this evening. Thank you everyone for your presence here, and we're really excited to be here tonight.
Thanks for that, everyone. I think it's my turn. Thanks, that was really interesting. And so definitely, I'm flashing back to my time at law school and just freaking out over course maps and just wondering where on earth I was in the middle of my degree, what electives to choose. So the problem has been identified really well. As you mentioned as well, there's, one thing is true of law students, it's that they're diverse in terms of interest areas and where they see their own careers going. So how will you ensure that you sort of encapsulate as many diverse interest areas and career objectives as possible?
Yep. Ash, do you want to go?
Oh no, Patricia, you go.
I was just going to say, so we've started off with the basic idea of trying to gauge trying to obtain course maps from at least one of each of the double degrees offered, as well as obviously the single law degree. So I think that as a base is our goal, to really have one at least for each of those double degrees, because we do appreciate you can't just focus on law arts, which may be the most popular, or law commerce. You really have to include everyone. And so I think to start off, that would be our goal, to really make sure that we try and get as much variety as we can. And I think having those as a base will allow others, for example, in the law arts, who perhaps will be majoring in different things, at least there's that baseline in terms of prerequisites and the number of subjects required for those type of degrees.
Great, thank you. Well done.
Wonderful, really good work, team. Next up, we have technological.
Good evening, judges. Good evening, everyone. In the interest of time, I'm just going to get underway right away. So in an era where technology and AI are regarded as both threats and opportunities, legal practitioners and law students tend to be overwhelmed with information, which is not always helpful in forming concise, objective, and comprehensive ideas about the concept of legal tech. And that's where technological comes in. My name is Chao, and I'm part of the technological team. Let's meet our friend Bin, who is a law student currently facing similar challenges in incorporating this concept into his career. Hi, Bin, how have you been?
Hey, Chao. Not too great, actually. Remember how I told you I was applying to be a paralegal? They asked me so many different questions about something called legal tech, and I had no idea what they were talking about.
Don't worry, Bin, you're not the only one. According to our recent survey, more than 1/5 of the law students know nothing about legal tech, despite its emerging usage in the commercial world.
But what should I do? I do see the benefits of using technology in law, but it feels so daunting to learn about it all.
You're absolutely right. People fear what they don't understand, but you're in luck because technological is here to help. Our mission is to increase law students' awareness and understanding of how technology is being used in legal practices. We want students to feel excited, motivated, and inspired to embrace technology as an opportunity and not as a threat to the legal industry.
What exactly do you do at Technological?
Our main focus is to elicit students' curiosity about the concept and how it is applied in practice by creating a forum that facilitates open discussion and self-learning.
Nice. Can you tell me more about what you have done so far and maybe what you want to implement in the future?
Sure. We started by conducting a survey to understand our target market. We now plan to do two things. The first is to run webinars and seminars with professionals who come from different backgrounds and practicing in different areas in order to provide students with a wide range of insight and perspectives. The second is to create an online module that allows students to take their curiosity to the next level and learn how to apply it to the fulfillment of their daily tasks as future professionals.
Sounds interesting. It's something I'd share with my friends. Why do you think my friends should look into it?
I think they should look into it because the platform is accessible to everyone. Students can access the learning materials easily from Moodle, which they're already familiar with. Finally, they can do it at their own pace and don't have to invest anything other than their time.
Awesome. I'm sold. Sign me up.
Thank you for listening. That was the end of our pitch, and we're now open to questions.
Fantastic. And I would love that pitch, the question and answer. Well done, team. That was really, really good. Obviously could not have planned a better judge for this one, given my association with the Australian Legal Tech Association. So absolutely 100% agree with you. This is so important. And just for any of the law students listening out there, there is not an expectation that you be coders, but there is an expectation in the industry more and more that you have a good broad understanding of legal technology. My question to you, Technological, is what is your plan to actually engage with the legal tech industry specifically with this? Because we've found at Alta, our most watched and our most popular events are when we actually have live demos of legal tech products, because often that is the best thing that gets people over the fear, is actually seeing a tangible product. Do you have a plan to get involved, and could it involve contacting Alta?
Thank you for your question. So to answer your question, to be honest, our team is a very fresh team that was just created this year. And so we spend quite a lot of time to actually get to understand our target audience, the students, understand what they want and what they expect from this. So the two most popular kind of content and forms that the students were looking for was actually either webinars or seminars, or like an online kind of unit or module. We were inspired by the leadership modules that Monash has on the Moodle website. So we were thinking we could deliver something similar to that kind of online module to help students understand, first of all, get familiar with this kind of concept before actually put it into practice. So that was our intention.
Just to add on, if possible, we also wanted to implement an online module, which may also involve practical experience. Like, for example, in my study of law, in property law, I was introduced to something called PEXA, which is now an online way of like conveyancing. So maybe in our online module, we could help students have first-hand experience of how to actually utilize the legal tech. And maybe since Alta has used live demos before, we could actually use your experience to help us better our program.
I'm in charge of membership there, and I think there's 78 Australian legal tech vendors as part of our membership, and I'm sure we could put a call out and they would love to get involved with something
Excellent.
like it. So there you go, look me up. Well done team, great idea.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic work, guys. Next up, we have our last but certainly not least team, the Legal Jump.
Hi, my name is Sarah, and I will be presenting with Dimitri on behalf of the Legal Jump. As law students ourselves, the Legal Jump team has experienced firsthand the struggle of jumping into law, and therefore seeks to empower future law students through a support network in the form of informative videos, school visits, and a Discord community to ensure that their experience studying law is first class from day one.
We know there is great scope for improvement in educating future uni students about law, how it works, how to stay mentally strong, and how to do well. In our sampling of over 100 law students, 95% said they wish they knew more about how law school worked before they started. When asked about how prepared they feel on a 6-point scale, with 6 being most prepared, the average was 2.4. The transition into law school is universally challenging. Studying law means adapting to an entirely new vernacular and unparalleled work commitments. Students transition to law school often lack support and guidance, which can have adverse implications on mental health and well-being. The Legal Jump will fill a gap by supporting new students on their journey with information and support that past law students missed out on, making the next generation of lawyers even stronger.
Of the students surveyed, 97% said they would prefer to hear from current law students rather than anyone else about how law school works. Therefore, our vision is for current law students to use interactive programs and platforms to develop connections and engage with future law students. After receiving the social, emotional, and informational support they need to thrive, students will feel secure and empowered when commencing law school.
So far, we have released 5 documentary-style videos on our social media with contributions from over 40 law students. with topics including pathways to law, advice to your first year self, and career opportunities. We also run high school seminars about law school, with 1 seminar already conducted and 2 more scheduled for this year. Additionally, our Discord server, a platform nexus for our virtual community, connects prospective law students with our team and their like-minded peers. The Legal Jump has already seen a tangible impact in the law community, with over 400 likes on our socials, as well as overwhelmingly positive feedback on our social media.
Our future consists of getting bigger and better with what we're already doing and reaching many more students. By the end of Term 1, 2021, we aim to create an additional 5 videos, have presented at 15 more schools and reached over 350 students. However, in order to make accessible and engaging content, we require funds for superior video editing software, which will enable us to easily insert captions on our videos.
Our product is unique because it's grassroots. We believe the most effective way to support aspiring law students is through current ones. We can't wait to continue our work beyond 2020, which is our inaugural year, so future law students start on the front foot. We thank you. We hope you will join us in assisting thousands of individuals in their legal jump. Thank you. Any questions?
Oh, yes, I have a question. The question that I had before today was the name of the group, and now I understand it. And that makes a lot of sense to me because it is a huge jump. I'm really impressed that you've managed to find your way into schools already. My question is, how will you find schools that have time for you in their busy curriculum? And in particular, how are you going to find the students who probably need you the most, because there may not be the same relationships between all schools and all universities?
I'm happy to take this one, Sarah. Thanks for the question, firstly, Nikki. Even so far, we've done quite a bit of emailing, trying to contact schools. We've got plans for, especially at the start of next year, to email a lot of regional schools, which, going back to your question, are probably the ones who sort of need that information even more than those in suburbs and in the city. And we're lucky enough to have some interstate members on our team on the Legal Jump. So essentially, to answer your question, we're hoping to do a lot of emailing, a lot of phone calling over the future, the next couple of months, to try and get our message out there. And of course, our social media platform is expanding, and we're hoping to use that as a strong medium to attract more people, attract attention from schools, and also with regards to fitting into the busy curriculum. Obviously, we're targeting the sort of older high school students rather than the younger ones. And our presentations will fit within a single period of high school. So sort of they're less than 30 minutes. So we are hoping that they will be appealing to many schools, and that was quite effective in our seminars so far. So we're hoping that effectiveness will continue.
It sounds like a really good plan. Thank you.
Thanks, Nikki. Any more questions?
That one question per team.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really great work, team. Amazing work, everyone. We can now take a deep breath and a big round of applause. I know it's a bit virtual, but if we were in a room, it'd be very loud noises. So you've all done such a fantastic job, and I've been glowing the whole time, making, really, really happy with how you've all done. You should all be very, very proud of yourselves and give yourselves a big pat on the back, is the old saying, hey. And those that are watching, I hope that you're clapping in your living rooms or wherever you might be. So what we'll do now is we'll break out into rooms. So I have already pre-assigned you all. So I will send all the teams out into their own teams. You can have a chat. We'll be gone for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back, and then judges will announce the winners. We will be saying farewell to Nikki at this point, as Nikki has another event to dash off to. She has been an absolute amazing judge, and I hope everyone can give her a round of applause as well. Brought lots of humour and enjoyment to every comment. So thank you very much, Nikki. As we will go into our breakout rooms, those that are watching, please stick around. We will be a short 10 minutes. And then we'll be back. So I will start the breakout rooms now.
See you, Nikki. Bye.
Brittany and Chloe, I'm going to have to move you. Who is in your team, Brittany? Just quickly so I can move.
Yushan Pei should still be here.
Okay.
Some of our team members had to dash off to other events, so I'm not entirely sure how many of them are still here at this point.
Alina? No, it's not Alina, is it? Sorry.
No.
You? Just one moment. I'm just going to move you into this room. Chloe, who's in your team, just quickly that I can move you to?
Meniki Fatima Taylor. Sorry, I must not be logged in with my Monash account. I must have accidentally done the wrong one.
Meniki. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
And Sania, just quickly a team member name.
Law to date, I'm with Alina, Mawashka, and Pooja.
Yeah. I'm just going to transfer you now. Wonderful. We're all back in. So we will wrap up in the next 5 or so minutes. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope that you're all feeling great and relaxed, and maybe not yet, maybe I'm going too far. But I would love to hand it over to our judges. We have James and Karen. Thank you.
So I'm going to start first by just a huge congratulations to absolutely everyone involved in the Law Ambassador program and the showcase tonight. You were all incredible. You certainly, so inspiring. You totally, blew all of us away, and it was a really, really hard decision for us to kind of pick out 3 to acknowledge. So thank you for making it so incredibly difficult for us. But just a couple of announcements. So obviously the 3 that we do specifically acknowledge will have their name on a plaque, which is very exciting, and it will live forever and ever and ever a day at Monash Law School, which is very exciting. And also Amy said to mention that she will speak to those teams that are acknowledged offline about the grants and what that happens there. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to James to announce the first acknowledgement.
Thanks, Karen. So first special acknowledgement, and I'll echo Karen's thoughts here. Those presentations across the board were just so impressive. And we're very excited to announce these three teams. But everyone, honestly, there was not one team that didn't hit the mark. You were all really, really impressive, well thought out, well considered. And we really encourage you to continue, whether you get a special acknowledgement tonight or not, to continue with your ideas. So to start off, the first special acknowledgement is to Moot Up. Cue applause. We'll run through each of the 3, and then we can come to our reasoning. So Karen, over to you.
And our second special acknowledgement is to Law Kate. Well done. Yay! Yay! Woo. James, do you?
Yes, and our third is to Legal Latte. Karen, do you want to kick off about some of our deliberations?
Yeah, absolutely. So I might just sort of run through sort of my thoughts on those 3 special acknowledgements. So just to Legal Lattes, we just thought you've really spent a lot of time building your brand, and you could really see that brand recognition was coming through. And I really like the idea that you'd sort of sat and really thought about the values and vision of Legal Latte and then matching that with the brand that you're building. So that for us or for myself was a particular standout. Did you want to make a comment about Legal Latte too, James?
Yeah. The simplicity of the concept really appealed. Seeming simplicity, because it's not something that is easy to actually execute, which is to put people in touch in such a a very ambitious environment, and an environment where a lot of people are time poor as well. But you make it seem simple, which always shows that there's a lot of work that's gone on behind the scenes. And you have runs on the board as well, which I thought was really great.
Yeah, it was incredible. And I like lattes as well. So almond latte. Law Kate, over to you. So obviously just blown away by your professionalism. And I'm just wondering if you're guns for hire to do pitching, because you would be amazing. I do virtual pitch nights with a networking group in Australia called Silicon Beach that have 24,000 members, and you left all of them for dead. You were so impressive. So well done on your very polished and professional presentation. And it was really intriguing. It really grabbed all of us in terms of wanting to know more and the build of it. So James, your feedback?
Yeah, I thought I'll echo your thoughts about the pitch. It was absolutely phenomenal. I loved your ambition, and a big part of what excites me is just seeing what you do next. We were all intrigued about what you have planned, so we'd love to be part of that going forward. Well done.
Well done. And then obviously finally Moot Up is a special acknowledgement. Originality, we just really loved how original the idea was, and obviously the scalability of Moot Up, on how obviously with Nikki's comments about, you know, taking it to the bar and how you can match up that and have those sorts of scalability. We really were, you know, applaud you on and thought that was a great concept.
Yeah. Also, working in the marketing department of the law faculty at Monash, one of our you know, big focuses as a law school is on not just the opportunities that you have in mooting, but also the access to an amazing moot court platform. That's absolutely a focus of this particular law school. And it's one that offers an opportunity potentially going forward to really use quite a powerful platform there. Again, you know, it was a very unique focus on mooting. You know, it was really great.
So congratulations, and I just wanted to reiterate James's comment just in relation to, you know, whilst we've acknowledged those three, all of you were absolutely incredible, and I'd really encourage you to start reaching out to industry. Feel free to LinkedIn connect with me, you know, James and Nikki, all of us, because, you know, I think that the more that you make these connections and continue going, you know, the more refined the ideas become. You know, just even for instance with technological, obviously, you know, there's an instant connection there with Alta. I know that industry would love so many of these ideas and would love to support you. So I really encourage you, reach out, connect, and keep going. And yeah, absolutely hats off to all of you. You're all absolutely amazing.
Here. And I'd add as well, on behalf of Nikki said to mention this, and I'll echo this one as well. I was really excited to hear a number of you start podcasts. And it's, you know, as you know, it's a wonderful way to reach people. It can be a very crowded space, but it's you know, you do a good podcast and you can really become such an important sort of contact in people's life that they build up a very personal connection with. Podcasting is one thing. The university actually has a radio station, and if you're lacking the you know, the products, you don't have the mics or access to a studio, the university does. And that's actually where I got my start, which is at Radio Monash, working, you know, doing a really fun, very immature podcast just with friends when I was a student. It's just located in the campus centre there. And that's where I fell in love with radio and ended up sort of finding a very different career in radio and broadcasting. You get to sign on to Radio Monash for a 10-week radio show. And that way you get the great access, but it also gives you a bit of a kick up the bum to make sure that you're releasing your episodes every single week, which can be the hardest thing to do. And they're even operating, I believe now, so you should have access to those studios. So if you want any more details, just get in touch. Get in touch with Amy, who will put you in touch with me, and I can give you more details on that.
Amazing. Thank you so much to our judges, and thank you so much to the teams. Another round of applause. You've all really done an amazing job, and we literally sat in that room and was just like, we can't pick, you know, it's just almost impossible. So honestly, everyone's done such an amazing job, and we really want to make sure that you feel encouraged to continue on with your projects. They are amazing and you've done so much work, and we want you to continue on. And this showcase was just a really great opportunity for you all to literally showcase the amazing work that you've done, and to carry that on. And as Karen's mentioned, you know, there's networking opportunities there, and to reach out, you know, whatever your project is, and ask for further information, and potentially, you know, looking at mentoring and stuff like that in the future. I'm not putting that all on Karen, but I'm just saying as in finding places to network and get those sort of support.
I'll mentor everybody. I
didn't want to like put you in on that one. I'm just saying we can reach out, and we can always talk about how to find out where to take yourself, or, you know, getting those mentors and the like in the future. So absolutely. But again, amazing work. I can't wait to see you all in the program. Hopefully everyone wants to continue on next year. I will obviously be in touch with you all in the future. I wanted to say a big thank you to our amazing judges. Your insights, your thoughts, your humour throughout the whole event has been fabulous. I've been on mute laughing and I've loved it. And the teams, you've all been absolutely outstanding. I knew that you would be nothing but, so you've definitely reached that bar, and I'm very, very, very proud. Also, a very big thank you to our Dean, Professor Brian Horrigan, for being here and watching you all. It's really important that you've been here, so thank you so much for that. Thank you to our team behind the scenes from the Faculty of Law, Ellie and Heather, you've done an amazing job. And everyone, you will receive your certificates. I will be sending them through to you all through email next month. So you will be getting that. Unfortunately, I can't hand them all to you. I would love to and shake all your hands, but I'm sure that we will be back into a room one day, not too far in the future, and be able to celebrate all together. So have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Have a fabulous weekend to come, and I can't wait to see you all again so soon. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.